What up, folks? I am Ultrazilla, and this is my annual State of the Ultrazilla address. That's right, like we do every year, guys. We start off with this VLOGZILLA that's specifically like a channel update, but a recap of the last year, what I'm gonna be doing in the new year, or at least the plan, the hopes, the dreams. You know, it's all of that. Yeah, and my last VLOGZILLA just a few weeks back was, basically similar. That's what these are anyway, all the time, right? Little updates, what's going on. So let's go back to that VLOGZILLA and show you what happened. Not show you, but tell you. I'm not splicing stuff from the other vlog. But, I've had a weird last month, I would say. We could start there, If you didn't know, cracked my head open, I had staples in my head, got the staples out. That set me back a little bit. And then I got sick between Christmas and New Year's, and I'm still not 100% here. My wife is sick now, so fantastic. All of these things slow you down. They really, really do. And one of the big objectives for me to end the year was to try to review as much stuff that came out in 2022 as possible. I did that. I despite all that stuff, I did review a lot of stuff, and I'm happy. There was a few things I really, really wish I got to review. There was like one thing in particular that was like a Japanese reviewer that I supremely respect, and that reviewer's #1 choice was something that was on my list, and I know it's a great piece, and I just never got a chance to review it, so it's like, there's just so many hours in the day, and, I wish I could do it all. I really, really do, but I did, get a chunk of that list done. Now, today, it's January 2nd. I have a new planner, and in that planner, there's a lot of to-do lists, and one of the, there's a lot of things on my to-do list, and one of those things was to reset the list, and I did so. We're fresh, but, we're ready for 2023 stuff to come in, but at the same time, the stuff from 2022 that I didn't review is still there. My objective, first and foremost, is to review those, to splice those in with new stuff that comes in. I think I have like one thing that I bought that I, just dropped, coming from Amazon. So I think it's coming tomorrow. It could be coming today, I don't know. And that'll be the first new thing for 2023, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty exciting. Later this month, I plan to have some stuff come in from HLJ. There was a bunch of stuff that dropped last month, so it's like 2022 things. But, it's stuff I'm gonna have to review, stuff I decided to hold back because I knew it wasn't gonna be stuff that was gonna make my best of list. My everything last month was geared towards the best of list, like it had to be. The only thing that wasn't was the Krampus, which I reviewed on Christmas Eve, to go along with the Fresh Monkey Fiction Santa Claus I reviewed on Christmas Day. So if you didn't see those two reviews, please do go watch them. It's just, speaking of things I really, really want you guys to watch, that is the Victory Saber review that I did last week while sick, guys. While I was not feeling so hot, I pumped out this massive review. Usually, like, these big robot massive reviews do really well here. So far, I'm not seeing that trending this way for Victory Saber, and that's a shame because it's very well deserved. So I really hope, you guys that dig robots in any way, dig Transformers, or I keep saying this everywhere I can. If you dig Ultrazilla, please go check out that review. Like, I poured so much love into that review. I would really love you guys to see it. Like, that's what this channel should be about. That's what subscribing to somebody should be about, no? And I gotta tell you guys, as 2022 ended, and of course I wasn't feeling so hot and doing that review, and that review went up, and you know, it's something that, you know, kind of brought me down a little bit. The fact that, you know, I mentioned that, you know, I mentioned that here, I mentioned it on Instagram, Facebook, and, you know, I felt like the support wasn't there, you know, like, the care that me as a content creator, you know, put into something but didn't receive it back. And even after asking, you know, my community, right? You guys are supposed to be my community, like, to watch, you know, and help me out by watching. I feel like it went by the wayside for the most part. And that's a shame, and that's makes me sad. Like, I don't know what that means. It makes you think a lot of things. It makes me think that, you know, that I'm like severely underappreciated here. Like, I don't ask you guys for money. I don't, you know, like, I don't have a Patreon because honestly, I don't know how well it would do, and it would be just a waste of my time. Because if I can't get that traction here and I can't get the support here, what makes me think I'd be able to get a Patreon thing going? So it's a very odd thing. It definitely drags me down as a creator, as someone that pumps out a ton of content that I think does, you know, one, the Godzilla community a lot, two, the toy community in general, because a lot of the stuff I cover, a lot of people don't cover. And I do so with opinions that are, you know, I've always said this, well-formed from all my experiences. And, you know, sometimes you just don't feel appreciated. So I ended the year feeling like that, you know. It's weird. And, you know, again, I was sick, coming off an injury recovery as well, you know. So, you know, that's part of it, you know, like, getting depressed, you know, when these things go on is easy, unfortunately. And, you know, I said this in my best of the year review, my tops of the year review, but I appreciate everybody that watches stuff, appreciate all the subs, but at the same time, and I love you guys, I really do, at the same time, you know, I feel like besides like a handful of people that like seem like they actually care, where are the subs? You know, like, you know, even in certain Godzilla videos, like Godzilla toy videos, I just sometimes don't see it, you know, like, how come Godzilla fans don't like Ultraman stuff, you know, sometimes, or other things, you know, like giant robots? You would think a lot of that, you know, crosses over for me, you know, so I can't be unique here in thinking that, like, stuff like Power Rangers, you know, doesn't cross over. It's very, very strange, you know. But, you know, sometimes I don't know. I don't know, and it's part of this, you know. So just want to let you guys know that's how I feel right now. I'm feeling like weird about the whole thing. Like, you know, I'm feeling more weird that I asked and said, hey guys, I don't really say, you know, much like this, but, you know, if you could kindly support this video, I would be really appreciated. It would be really appreciated. And I just didn't feel like there was a response to that, and that doesn't make me feel good, I'll tell you that, guys. It doesn't make me feel good. But anywho, there was a lot of positives. This year, the channel had the most views it's ever had, even more so than last year, which had the big GVK bump. So despite everything I just said, the views overall were quite good. So I do appreciate that, guys. And that actually was a nice little, as the year ended and I was able to check all those analytics, it was a nice little bump to the mood, because, you know, before that I was like feeling a little bit like down, like I just said. And, you know, two things can happen at the same time. You know, views overall have been good, but then when you look at individual videos and engagement overall, you know, they're different things. So, different metrics that I have to look at and I have to wonder why, you know. So, but anywho, really cool that the views were there and they were higher than usual, you know. Not than usual, that they were just a bump up. Obviously, we got to 10K subs this year. That was fantastic. We had a big giveaway for that. But we also got to 11K subs, so I do thank everybody for that as well. That's pretty cool. And we're like almost halfway to 12. So that's nice. You know, I do appreciate every new person. You know, engage, guys. Talk. You know, like, make your voices heard. Comment on any video you want. You know, but like I keep saying, you know, it would be awesome if folks would support other content as well. You know, like, I do a lot of reviews, and it'd be cool to hear what people think of other things, you know, so, and it'd be good for you guys, you know, to experiment and to watch stuff that you might not be into. And I know this is going to fall on a lot of deaf ears because not a lot of people watch this type of video either, so it's one of those things where, you know, I'm talking, but not that many people are listening. But I feel like, you know, for the people that, you know, might get through to, you know, it might be worth saying it. But those were good things, you know, like, you know, the fact that we had a lot of views and it wasn't a movie bumped year. Well, there was Shin Ultraman, sure. But not everybody's seen that yet, you know, that's good. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out this year that should be interesting, that, you know, might have a lot of tie-ins, toy tie-ins, and we'll definitely experiment with that. And as far as what you'll actually be seeing on the channel with reviews, you know, there's gonna be more robot stuff. That was, you know, a decision as I was, like, trying to get through a lot of stuff, that it made me realize I'm still buying a lot of robot stuff. I'm just not featuring as much. So I plan to feature a lot more, you know, like, the first few things I'm doing here are gonna be all, like, robot-related things. So, you know, there's gonna be, you know, more swimming in those waters once again, and maybe, and I know there's a lot of robot fans that are here, that make up those 11,000 plus people, and I'm hoping to jog a lot of them back into, you know, chatting, you know, commenting, and, you know, getting back into it, building the community more, building my own community more, like, nurturing that part of it again. But don't worry, I mean, I'm not getting rid of Godzilla content. I mean, I pride myself in being probably the YouTuber reviewer with the most Godzilla coverage. I mean, let's break it down by numbers. Who gets more stuff than me? I don't think anybody. So, across as many lines as I do, and even still, you know, nobody does as much as me, period. So, like, let's put that to bed. So, you know, hopefully some other communities, you know, participate more. It'd be awesome to see. I'm definitely gonna give it a good college try. You know, there's, as you saw this past year, and I kind of mentioned it in my tops of the year, there's probably a lot less, like, more human stuff. The one thing that's gonna be, you know, continuing that features human stuff is probably gonna be the Power Ranger stuff. I do plan on reviewing some of the Super 7 Ultimates stuff. That's gonna be part of this. There's, you know, some Power Rangers Lightning Collection stuff that I'm still gonna be reviewing. I still gotta get the Dragon Zord from the Zord Ascension project. That's a big thing. So Power Rangers is gonna be a big part of the channel. It has been. Godzilla, Transformers, Power Rangers, Ultraman have been probably the 4 biggest brands that I feature. It's gonna continue to be so. You know, those are going to be the things, and, you know, everything else is going to be interesting. It's going to be more, hopefully more Super Robot stuff, but I don't have much on the horizon currently, but, you know, there's probably going to be some stuff that drops I'm going to get. But there's stuff in my backlog that I want to get to. Like, one of the things that I had on my 2022 list was actually a 2021, and I didn't really realize it. But it was also one of those things that could have been on a 22 list, but to be honest, I believe even the US release was December of 20, and I got it in December, yes. I think it was 2021, either way, what I'm saying. No, it was December 2021. It came out in the US. I just never bought it till January. So that was a little one that was kind of confusing to me until I went back to look at my receipts, and I took it off. That was the Soul of Chogokin Dalion. But I do want to review that anyway, so that's going to be part of the things I do review. Hopefully soon? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, right? It is hard to say. But, you know, there's going to be more robot stuff for sure. A lot of the stuff back here is pre-2022. So, you know, that stuff is going to be mixed in as I can. But to be honest, I think a lot of stuff is, I'm going to have to get rid of some stuff. You know, just stuff that's in the backlog is just going to have to go on eBay, because I feel like some of it I'm just never going to get to. I got to be honest with myself. You know, a big part of this year has to be finally organizing this space completely. Yeah, organizing Ultrazilla's toys took a big hit in the second half of this year, even prior to any difficulties the last month and a half. So I got to get back onto that. You know, like, obviously you haven't seen one on the channel in a long time. You haven't seen a shelf tours. Both are things I want to do. That's content I want to make for this channel. So I do plan on getting those going again. You know, the things that have been on the channel are going to be staying on the channel. I haven't really, you know, I've been getting into weird spaces here. But, you know, the stuff that is here is going to stay. There's nothing I'm really eliminating. Maybe Haul of the Week is kind of gone. It's been gone. I'm just kind of doing things a little bit differently. If I get a lot of stuff from one spot or something, I'll do an unboxing. Or if it's a special figure that I feel like needs an unboxing, I'll do an unboxing of. Like that HLJ box I was talking about. That I'll get an unboxing, because there's actually a lot. It's going to be, you know, by the time the end of the month comes, you know, towards the end of the month, there's going to be more stuff that comes out. I'm just kind of waiting for a nice chunky amount of stuff. So that'll be its own little unboxing onto its own. But yeah, that stuff is going to be a little iffy as far as, you know, the way the channel looks. Not reinvented the wheel here. I put up a new channel trailer. It's basically like last year's channel trailer, just, you know, tweaked with new figures, you know. Like I always do, it's always been the best figures of the year are on that channel trailer. You know, spice it up a little bit, new music, whatever. But I do plan on doing something different there. Maybe mid-year. Like, I have some ideas for a different channel trailer. So, you know, but I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I'm not going to be doing, like, crazy changes all at once. Like last year I had, like, a complete channel refresh, basically, with new logo, new thumbnails, and all that. Everything's pretty much going to stay the same. There's going to be minor tweaks as I go. Ultrazilla Jr. and I have been working on new design for the actual Ultrazilla, so I might be posting up some of the pics he did today on Instagram, or at least one of them that I thought was really cool and maybe a direction where we're going. So I do plan on getting back that and adding it to the channel somehow. You know, I would love, somebody said this and I forget who, my apologies, you know, when is the Ultrazilla coffee mugs coming, since I'm a huge coffee fan? You're right, there should be. But not just a logo. I think I want to have, like, something logo and, you know, a new Ultrazilla to go with it. Because, you know, end of the day, I want to do more and more with Ultrazilla, you know, and I would like to, you know, get some items out there that maybe, hopefully people that do like, you know, my stuff would want to get. We'll see. You'll see. You know, that's good things to think about that do make me feel good. That's not just a, like, Patreon where I'm, like, just asking you for money for the stuff I'm already doing here. You know what I'm saying? That'll be something different that folks might want to get. So, things I'm exploring, you know, this year. You know, I always talk about equipment. Still need a massive upgrade. That hasn't changed. I'm no closer to getting to that upgrade today than I was when I did this thing last year. So, it is a thing that I'm just going to have to deal with, and when it comes, it comes. It usually comes all at once. Usually when you need equipment, I just get it when I need it. And that's probably what's going to happen here. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. A couple of other things. Want to get back live streams. That's something I said last VLOGZILLA. I'm not ready to come down to this space completely quite yet, like I said I might be. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. And once I am back down here, and I think you know, live streams will come back because again, the situation with Wi-Fi is better down here than it was. So that's something to look forward to. When I do get back to live streams, I'm hoping to do like guests again. I think that was the best way to go for live streams. Gives Ultrazilla Live something, you know, more fun to do. But you know, I know like some folks like just chatting with me sometimes, so, and that's cool too. So you know, maybe that's the spot where I do show like toys that haven't been featured yet, you know, like I had been doing. So something to look forward to in the future is live streams coming back, and hopefully in the near future too. Hopefully in the near future, you know. And I think that's it, guys. I do. I probably had other things I wanted to talk about, but that's really it. Oh yeah, the one last thing is, you know, I talked about tweaks and stuff, you know, along the way. As far as my review style, it's pretty much staying the same. The one area I do want to tweak very soon is final thoughts. You know, like, I'm not really happy with the current format. I think the pan around of, you know, the figure is for me, I'm just kind of done with that, you know, like, so, you know, I don't want to change too much about how I do stuff. My focus is always on the toy, but I think that might be a spot where you might see me. You might see me. I experimented with that a few years back, you know, like early on I would have to say, actually, and kind of got rid of it after a while. But, you know, I know some folks, you know, I feel like that might be a good formula. And it's a spot where I'm willing to go because, you know what? I do like talking straight with you guys. You guys know that, you know, watch my tops of the year, you know, and you can see how I feel about a figure, you know, in that. I think that might be a good way to go, where it's just me and the figure like this to end it. I think that's a good way to go, and that's something I'm going to experiment with, maybe right from my first review, which is probably something that I've already started. I'm, you know, I'm not there yet. I'm honestly not there yet. I think you're going to see an Ultrazilla news before that. Ultrazilla news is going to stay on the channel. Don't worry about it. There's something. So I think that's going to be... Next is an Ultrazilla news, because I actually haven't done one in a little bit. So I want to get one of those out, catch up, and then get back into the reviews. But yeah, final thoughts might be somewhere where it's just going to be me and the figure and my final thoughts. I think that makes sense. I think you could see straight from this horse's mouth what I really thought about the figure and final thoughts. That might be the biggest tweak to anything that you're gonna see visually in the reviews for now. I do want to bring back the, you know, the scrolling words that I've had throughout most of the year. That was a very big change for me last year, was like adding that. A little bit of, you know, sometimes it's informative, sometimes it's funny, you know, everybody's always saying get a little comedy in there, but, you know, I want the focus to be on the figures. The little bit of lines here and there was perfect for me. It's kind of my attitude, you know, the stuff I like, you know, and shout out to Vangelis, because, you know, he's been doing that for years. I've always loved that, you know, and it's always been my humor as well to do stuff like that. So that's, you know, homage to Sir Vangelis. But I do like doing that, and I got away from doing that. I had to stop doing that, actually, when I got injured, because I needed to get focus on just getting the stuff out, you know, instead of focusing on that, because, you know, I ended up needing that. Needing all the time possible, and that takes longer to do, you know. It takes me going through the videos in a different way than I do now. So, but that is gonna come back with the next review, getting back into that. And schedule-wise, that's the last thing I want to talk about. Schedule-wise, I think I am moving down to 8 p.m. Usually having a little buffer to 9 p.m. is really good. EST is really good for me because it gives me, that little bit more time. But at the end of the day, I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make. So I would love to, stay on schedule. But at the same time, I don't know. It depends on what the item is and when the last thing went up and all of that. But if I do stay on schedule, I think it'll be at 8 p.m. EST, I want to, just experiment with just bringing it down an hour. And that's it, guys. That is the state of the Ultrazilla. Sorry for, kind of being depressed in the beginning. There is a lot of good things as well going on here. But I gotta, let you guys know how I feel too, so it is what it is. That's how I felt, and I feel like sometimes you guys should know how I feel too. So, regardless of what you think of me after, after that, I can't do anything about, but, I like to shoot it straight, and there you go. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Peace out, peeps.